I forgot to, just in case, put to record. Okay, sorry for interrupting. Okay, I'm just also checking the waiting room just in case if there are students coming. So, okay, let's continue. So then you see the title. So in your cover page, you will start including the title of your research. Okay, that's the topic, right? But obviously you had the already task how to improve your title, and some of you did, many of you forgot about this step, but you still need to do it because you will start losing points for this. Full name, this is your name. Fifth semester, it's morning or evening, and my name, if you still do not have it correctly, check it out if you have it correct, Svetlana Kovalik. Sometimes you make mistakes in the spelling. I know it's difficult. But that's actually correct name. And then date of delivery date, okay? So not when you start doing it, not Monday, when you deliver, okay? Even if it's a late date, you write the date you deliver, okay? Remember that you always have 2 weeks more to deliver. You remember that Unit 1 is open, for example, was open, and when you started Unit 3, Unit 1 was closed. So in general, when Unit 2 was open, you still were able to do Unit 1 because it was open, okay, except forums. But good news, we will not have forums anymore this semester. I don't know if it's good news or not. We will discuss it later. But Marco Herrera. This semester we will not have forums anymore, so you will focus only on the proposal, okay? So let me go just a little bit more about title. I have provided the video about the session that we had, an explanation of the title. Also you have material, but still I do not have improvements from all students. So topic, my topic is you already have working type topic, but you need to make it catchy, clear. Remember, there is a section that where to use capital letters. You can see as example. The context words, all context words will have capital letters like nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, except prepositions. So these words are not important and they are lowercase letter, right? So imagine that you are writing an article for newspaper. So how do you see the titles? Catchy, interesting. The first thing what you do, you read the title. Okay, if you do not like the title, you will not read the article. So this is the same. You have to make your title that way that the one that this research is for should be interested to read. Okay, so for this reason you need to write, or let's say implement their indicators. Okay, what are the indicators? Okay, indicators are the sets, or let's say the group of people, the class, okay, the group of potentially observable phenomenon, which stand for, or let's say represent a conceptual definition. Okay, the concept that you had for the framework. So the most important words that actually can be catchy and useful for the person who wants to read your research. Okay, I don't want to be misunderstood. You will not publish the research. Many of you in the forum mentioned that the most difficult step will be to publish and show it to everyone. We are not going to do it. Okay, that will be your decision. Maybe in the future, if you want to publish it, you get a great job, you can do it. But as a task for our course, it will not be the task. You will deliver it to me, and I'm going to be only one who checks that. Okay, so that will not be published. Another thing that also might be misunderstood, the economical status. You will not need to spend anything. It is true that people who do research, they need to invest, but we're talking about big companies, institutions, maybe principal of the school want to find out some or solve some problems. They might need to invest. For you, you will not need to invest in anything, except if you wish. For example, if you want to have a special application, you want to ease your life, then you can do it. But we can easily work with the Excel, Word, and free applications that are available nowadays online. right? And one of them that I provided for you, Bubble Us, I hope you like it, or there are many applications that you can find free and easy to use. So again, going back to the title, be sure that you provide those indicators, because they actually indicate also the presence or absence of the concept that you are studying. Okay, you can see that the topic is engagement. So the problem is students are not engaged enough. So I'm trying to find out different learning tools, okay, to increase, to improve the better, like, to engagement. And what is my indicator? This is teaching EFL students, right? This is the elementary school. So if I'm a history teacher and I open this research, am I going to read it? I don't think I will be interested. Or if I'm businesswoman and I'm looking for engagement, is it helpful for me? No, I'm not going to read. So this actually helps also people to like not waste their time on reading your task. I know you are not going to publish that, but that's actually the purpose of the title. You have to imagine like you are publishing it. That's just imagination, okay? So, and on top you see no abbreviation, and you can tell me, teacher, you have abbreviation EFL. Okay, that's why I put but. So no abbreviation in your writing, because it's formal writing. Your style has to be formal. Grammar, no phrases. There has to be clear sentences. Check for grammar, and avoid this abbreviation like SS students that we use for planning, or teacher like a letter T, right? These are not concepts established like in general. These are just for lesson plannings in order to reduce the use of student and teacher, because it is used very like frequently in the lesson plan. So for this reason, you cannot do it in the research. But such concepts like EFL, that is a normal concept in this field. Okay, everybody knows what EFL is an English teacher, obviously, right? Okay, so let's continue. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can stop me. It's okay. I can clarify some things. Okay, from the beginning, I mentioned that you are going to do action research, all of you. However, you studied different types of research, you compare them, and you find out that many researchers have similar processes. Okay, action research is similar to many processes, to many types of research, and has similar processes, right? So that was the point to compare, right? And understand what actually action research is about. You are going to also have to use the combined method. We discussed that from the beginning, which is quantitative and qualitative method, or let's say method of data collection, right? But also analysis, right? Both. Okay, so that has to be clear. Going back a little bit to objectives, let me give you an example. Okay, as we're doing action research now. You are beginners. This is first time for you, so for this reason you have to go step by step. You have to read material, investigate, learn, and then you conduct the research. I'm, let's say, experienced teacher, and I'm doing action research after each course I give. For example, educational research. This is one of the subject that for me was as a project, because last year, if you are one of those who did this course last year and you do it this year, you can totally see there are so many changes. Reading materials are different, activities have been changed, some were eliminated and some were implemented. There are many videos that I have changed. So this is action research for me. Okay, maybe I do not need to do those, I do not need to use those instruments, however, I'm using some of them to improve. So my purpose is to improve my skills, to improve my techniques, my strategies, my activities, to ease your learning. Obviously, it's not my purpose, it's not that you learn. My purpose is that I learn, okay? So I can implement it and help my students, okay? So that is the main purpose, not your student, because some of you write, the purpose of the research or the objective is that my students will learn by the end of their research, let's say let's say present tense, okay? Or they will understand better. No, it's not for them understand, it's for you. All of us want to have improvement in our students, but for this reason we are doing research to first improve as a teacher so we can help our students. So we need to identify some factors, maybe like not necessarily causes of the problem. Sometimes we do not need to search for the cause, but sometimes it might be helpful. It depends on the topic, okay? Sometimes, well, we need to find activities or maybe find out some strategies, techniques that can be used to improve something, okay? Whatever topic is, obviously you're going to investigate it, right? So these are the objectives of all of you, okay? Then what are the research questions? I ask some of you still to improve research questions, okay? Because you have some questions that are not necessary, are not relevant at all. They can be used in the questionnaire when you conduct your research. They can be asked in the interview, but these are not the focus of the research. For example, the question, are my students going to understand how to pronounce the words, or how understand the present simple tense, okay? Or did my students like the class? I mean, did my students like the strategy? Okay, let's imagine this is the answer at the end, because you will have the question and you will need to have the answer. And basing on those all answers, you will have a conclusion. So imagine your answer is yes, they liked. So what? So what? Okay, why did they like? How did they like? I mean, you need to create one question that actually gives the meaningful answer. Okay, what strategies maybe helped? So you base actually those research questions on the objectives. They are not something different. They are related. So the concepts are most of the concept that you use in the objective or will be used in research questions. Okay, so I hope it's clear. You might have 3 questions, 2, 4. I don't think you will get 10 questions. Then it will be research of 10 years. So no more than 3 research questions, 3, 4 if you really think that it's necessary to have 4. But they have to be meaningful, not yes, no, okay? Like always think, so what? If I get this answer, so what? Okay? And instruments. So instruments are all the same for everybody. Everybody will design interviews, observations, and questionnaires. And all of you will have to conduct interviews, observations, and questionnaires with no exception. If you do not do it, obviously you lose the points for these tasks that will be following tasks and for the next course tasks. Well, they value more. Okay, they're like 1, I think 1.5, or I don't remember the one to lie, but they have more important value. So okay, instruments, 3 instruments. There are obligation, and the other instruments you can design if you consider are important, right? Some of you provided like lesson plans, might be okay, why not, right? Some rubrics, maybe you want to get a background in a rubric and you want to give it before all the instruments are conducted, right? So like background of the students, you want to know who the students are, something about their culture, about their experience, what they already know, what their problems are. That's kind of similar to the background that you had if you did literature with me, right? So we did like preliminary information about the students. This is background of the students. You need to know them, okay, in order to help them. Okay, and well, educational research proposal is the end of course task, okay, and you already start working on the literature review, Okay, please be sure that you choose credible sources. I'm pretty sure you had the course with Mariela. Please get her notes and check what are the credible sources, what are the reliable sources. Okay, and don't choose more than 5. 5 would be enough. Well, 6 if you really need to get the 6, but more than 6 it will be too much. Okay, but you cannot get less than 5. Okay, 5 number is perfect. Okay, 5, 6 would be okay. And you already noticed that the second task of this unit is introduction, so that will be also part of your proposal. The next semester, in January 5th, we will have also 2 weeks for the unit 7. So in the first part, we will also complete one part of the research, and the second week, the rest. Okay, and well, you need to pay attention to all the feedbacks, everything what we have discussed, so you can improve all those parts that you started, like starting from literature review, and deliver it as the end of course task, because those parts together, improved, corrected, will be in the final task. And what means do not copy? Okay, we always say don't plagiarize, but the thing is that students do not understand what is plagiarism. Okay, many of you got very low points for forums or even for your tasks just because the plagiarism was detected. Okay, and many students commit plagiarism unconsciously. Okay, unconsciously, because they think it is not plagiarism, but it is. First of all, when I give the task to write your answer, okay, what limitations are, what is this? So that means I do not ask you go online, search, find the information, copy and paste, okay, and then provide the reference. That is not the task. The task is read material, whatever you want. If you do not like my material, search for more, okay, discuss, talk with your classmates, and then write it with your own words. I talked to my cousin, I always tell her, she also did the job, and I checked, I didn't like it, so I made her to read the text, close the text, and write it with her own words. Okay, you can use quotations and cite, like provide a quote if you really think that it's catchy and it's something really important, but then you have to paraphrase, you have to explain why this quote is provided, what it means. But you provide the thinking that it's quote and this is the answer because I provide the reference, but it's copied totally. So that is not the answer, okay? So please do not even try to do it in the literature review or proposal. I do not want to be strict, but I do use plagiarism checker application. So for me, if you think the teacher will not find out, if she finds out, then I'm going to beg her not to fail me, okay? So that is not how it works. I'm going to identify plagiarism, okay? And I have seen who plagiarized, who didn't, who copied texts, who didn't, who copied one sentence or 2 sentences. I can see everything. Who copied the sentence and changed only one word, because it is also plagiarism. If you copy a sentence and change only 1 or 2 words, it is also plagiarism. Okay, so the plagiarism is a very difficult thing. So the only thing I ask you, close the material, read it first, close it, and then start writing. And I can also suggest you, many of you still might have like grammar problems. It's normal, right? We cannot be perfect in English. It's not first language. So, or there can be slips. So you can use the grammar checker. That's another application that you can search, you can find free. I suggest you to use several because some of them are not good. So you can, if you go through several checkers, obviously you will correct so many grammar mistakes. You will find so many grammar mistakes and your work will be much better. And obviously spelling, style, it will give you advice how to avoid wordiness, because sometimes you repeat the same thing to one paragraph complete talking about one idea and you do not get the point. Okay, so that is also problem, right? And this grammar checker can help you. Okay, So this is one thing. Another thing that you can do, you have friends. I mean, you have had face-to-face classes, so you know each other. Send your work to your classmates, even several classmates. Ask them to read, correct, highlight some things that they might suggest you to correct. Help each other. If you have teachers that you feel confident, they might also help you if you have somebody who really has time to check your work, right? Check grammar, wordiness, style, right? So then it's very important, okay? Because if you get this old piece written correctly, obviously it will be just the easiest thing for your thesis. And well, I think the time will be like finished in a few minutes. So I would like you to, I'm going to close the session and we come back. Okay, so because I would like to just highlight some things, like summarize what we saw in the beginning and just go a little bit with the details and some suggestions for the future. So I'm going to stop, okay? And we come back in a minute, okay? I will be waiting for you here.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
Very much.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.